What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talk Center because you need for all your movie news, movie reviews, and more. Lawson sprouting a brand new mo. He's looking like the guy from Super
Yeah.
Troopers. There's mustache rides for everybody. I don't know if we can say that on pod, but we have, so bad luck. Yeah.
Love it.
And yeah, episode 77. Things get a little bit weird as the longer we go. But we've got Argylle, a brand new action comedy AAA hit, big namer,
Yep.
stylish,
It's got a lot of
whatever.
big actors in it.
Ooh, yeah, it does. And then we've got the newest, the biggest romantic comedy hit of the season so far, Anyone But You, which got a re-release for Valentine's Day, which was on a Wednesday. So hopefully everyone had their Valentines and did all that if you get around it. And you didn't
Did you
end
do
up.
anything for Valentine's Day while we're talking
Um,
about it?
no, unfortunately, we were hit with some I don't know if it was gastro COVID or something or other, but
Mm-hmm.
it was
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bit down, and then attempted to watch our mate's stream, and then I fell asleep. So
Yeah.
fun
Well,
times.
that's fair.
And hopefully none
Fun
of
times.
you had any lover stalker killer moments, which we'll get into. But what did you do for the old V Day?
We got Sazi.
Oh yeah.
Good old great food.
Yep.
I bought my partner the Assassin's Creed trilogy, Ezio trilogy, and the Black Flag,
Ooh,
like the remasters on Switch. So like $30 each.
there you go.
And I got her like the Matthew Perry book and a few other little bits and pieces.
Matthew Perry book's really good. I've listened to it.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna finish the Pretty book, and then
Oh,
she'll work
yeah.
on that one next.
That one's pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, I'm hearing all
Yeah.
about it for sure.
That's pretty cool. And you know how you bought Assassin's Creed? Guess
Yeah.
what? We are now
What?
partnered with Ubisoft. We are in the
We
creator
sure are.
program. Let's go, Ubisoft. So hopefully the new Assassin's Creed game is going to blow our socks off, and we should be able to get early access and stuff to that as well. So looking forward
Yeah,
to
I'm,
that.
I'm pretty keen for Red
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
that's going to be cool. But,
Hmm.
another thing that we should all be interested in is movie news, everyone's favorite segment, because everyone gets their movie news from us, not from like Empire, IGN, or anywhere else.
Yep, get your headlines from
Mm.
us.
Yep, get them here, get them all, get your weekly fill. Just as Ripley Scott Napoleon is arriving on Apple TV in March. So remember how we
Ooh, is
watched
it the
it?
4 hour version?
Correct. Yep.
Good.
4 hour one's coming.
All
I'm
right,
not
I'm keen
watching
for
that.
that.
I'm not watching it.
No,
I'm not watching
I'll
four
chuck it
hours
on.
of
I
it.
probably won't watch it in segments, but I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, right. And well, Ridley Scott will keep in that little news headline. He's in here a few times. He is making a deal to direct the Bee Gees biopic.
Ridley Scott. Wow,
Mm. I don't know that.
interesting. Has he?
I don't think
Go
he's
on.
done a biopic, has he? Besides,
That's literally my Google search right now. Ridley Scott
would you
biopic.
okay, kind of Napoleon? I guess that's a kind of but like it's more of a
Yeah, but it's an
retelling.
epic. I wouldn't
Yeah,
consider the Bee Gees an epic.
yeah. I don't know. I guess it's loosely in the same realm.
No, the only two things that come up when I search his name and biopic,
Hmm.
literally Napoleon
Hmm.
and Bee Gees.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit
Maybe he
different.
wants to do something a bit more lighthearted. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm assuming the story of Bee Gees is kind of lighthearted. I have no idea.
God knows. But something
But
that
interesting.
is less lighthearted and sometimes quite challenging to watch was the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, which was
Mm.
absolutely incredible. There is new images of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and like
Oh, sweet.
I've seen bits and pieces of the trailer. She looks really good in it, like quite deranged and disturbed rather than the Hollywood style. What was her name?
Yeah.
Margot Robbie one.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I
So,
think she's a very underrated actor.
oh, her in
She
what was the A Star Is Born? Very, very
sure.
good.
Yep.
Yep, enjoyed
Her
that.
in American Horror Story for me was the first time that I was like, oh shit, she's actually talented.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, she made it pretty big in the music industry, and
Oh, definitely.
when they try and come across, doesn't always go so well.
Exactly right. And some come across like we saw Dua Lipa in Argylle, which we discussed, and they're just there as a ticket selling name.
There's a
Whereas
few
Lady
ticket
Gaga, I
sellers.
think, holds her own.
Yeah.
Especially someone who's going to put themselves with Joaquin Phoenix. Like you've got to fucking hold your own as an actor. So
Oh,
I think should
massively.
be great.
Well, General Butler's Greenland sequel has started shooting for the year. I actually never saw Greenland.
General Butler,
Yeah, General. I feel
not
like
not Gerard,
no, I feel like he's a general. He plays a
is
general in most
General.
things. So,
Hmm.
I mean, if the shoe
Sure,
fits.
that's his new name, General Butler.
Yep. And another big name, Godzilla X Kong.
No, there's a
The
new
new,
trailer was out. Something I saw on
yeah,
YouTube.
looks like they're teaming up, and King Kong's got a massive fist. So we'll see. He's
A
got like
massive
a
fist.
yeah. If you see it, he's got like a robotic like fist, kind of like a gauntlet sort of
Oh,
style.
really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So
I
it
didn't
looks
actually
like
watch the trailer.
so they're about to face off. Godzilla's coming in. He's massive. He's like, "Rawr," and then King Kong's coming. He's like, "Rawr," and then they both look up, and it's like a new thing that they have to fight. So there'll be
Oh
another.
yeah, he's got
It'll
like an
be
infinity gauntlet,
yeah, it'll be like aliens or something or other coming in. It'll be
and then they'll
pretty
team up.
yeah, and
This
then
will be the new fucking Batman Superman, where they fight, 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 and then they team up to beat someone else.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It will. Oh
God,
yeah.
and you'll love it way more than -1
Oh,
because you
100%.
had more monsters.
Yeah, monsters fighting.
Muscle brain.
Yeah.
No, don't care.
Okay. Well, another thing that you might not care about is the Fantastic Four cast is now confirmed, and I don't like Johnny Storm's casting
Who
at
is it?
all. It is Pedro Pascal is playing Reed, and then you got Vanessa Kirby playing Invisible Girl, and I think it's Joseph Quinn is playing Johnny Storm.
Trying to get it up. Every website I go to wants me to fucking sign in.
Because
Get the fuck out of here.
you got
I know none
Ebon,
of them except for Pedro.
yeah. I remember seeing something about Vanessa Kirby's there's some connection to the original, like original creator or something for the original Invisible
Sure.
Girl. Look, I don't really know. I've never been a big fan of Fantastic Four. I just know that like Johnny Storm was meant to be like the jock kind of like character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but the guy playing him is real scrawny, and I don't like when they do that. Look, he might
That
be.
Joseph Quinn,
I think it's him.
Sue Storm. I thought, wait, is Storm Mr. Fantastic?
Well,
Or is the flame guy Mr. Storm?
Johnny Storm.
I don't know what their names are. Give me the superhero names.
Johnny Storm.
What?
What?
Johnny Storm.
Yeah, isn't that
I thought
him?
there was I thought there was the Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic,
Oh yeah, that's him. Mr. Fant
Human Torch,
Human Torch. Yeah,
and that's Johnny Storm.
yeah.
Okay, but then whatever. I don't know why I'm asking questions, but I don't give a shit.
Okay.
So who's playing the Thing?
It is where is it?
Eben
Uh,
Moss
I believe
Backrack?
it's yeah,
Backrack?
yeah, I believe it's him.
Another actor. I have no idea who he is.
No,
He was in The Punisher.
yeah,
John Adams. No fucking idea. I was in No
no.
Hard Feelings. All right.
Mm,
No
mm,
idea. No,
no.
I don't care. I'm probably gonna watch it because I want to see if it's as much of a train wreck as every other fucking Fantastic Four adaptation.
As they always have been.
There's never
Yeah,
been a good one.
no,
The first ever wasn't terrible, but
wasn't
I
good.
know that the creation of wasn't. It was a mess. And then they had the sequel, The Silver Surfer, which was just an absolute fucking piece of shit. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, we've got our first look at Jafar Jackson in Michael Jackson's biopic. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Me either. I even know how I feel about Michael Jackson. I'm like, I don't know the truth. I
No,
like his music still. I can't deny that, but I don't know the truth behind all the allegations. I don't think I ever will.
no. I don't know.
Wow, I didn't realize they were doing a biopic. That's really fucking dangerous.
I feel like biopics are the thing now, though. They're like, I feel like it's kind of grab it and go. Like it's the story's already there. You just gotta execute it.
Definitely. But when you're telling a story as controversial as MJ's, I don't know.
I mean, there's another controversial story coming up too, and another
Yeah.
biopic is
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse's.
Love Amy Winehouse.
Mm,
But at least her history isn't hurting other people, it's hurting herself. Like that's a
yeah,
much more compelling story.
I did see. My wife showed me the last performance she did. She did not look good.
No, no, she
No,
wasn't in a good way.
no. But she was
Poor woman.
contracted to do it, and it was like, if I do a bad job, it's like kind of take that, or she just
Who
wasn't good.
who's playing her?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
Uh Marissa Abella. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. Could be.
People always talked about what's her name? Woman from Harry
Well,
Potter and oh my God,
who?
Helena Bonham Carter. People always said that Helena Bonham
Okay.
Carter needs to play Amy Winehouse, but she's too old now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Don't know.
Okay,
We'll see.
I don't know this girl.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, look, I'm
We'll
I'm
see.
keen because I really like Amy Winehouse, and I think she has a really interesting story to tell. So
Fair. Fair.
I'm keen for this.
Oh, three last bits of movie news. You remember the movie Twister?
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Twisters has a new trailer out, so they've made a sequel,
Wow.
and Glenn Powell is starring in it, who also makes a feature on today's episode
The
in
guy
Anyone.
on your left shoulder there, or
Yep.
right shoulder.
Anyone but you.
Yep.
Yep. And then I wonder if they're literally going to have two twisters in it rather than just the big one. Like,
It needs to be shit. Like that's part of the attraction of the first Twister. It's bad. Like
who
it's really over the top and kind of cringe in places, and like that's they need to have that sort of energy in this one.
knows? I don't know.
We know Glenn Powell can bring the cringe.
But yeah, we'll see. And then we've also
We
got
will.
apes and humans together in the new kingdom of the Planet of the Apes trailer. I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. I reckon it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of over the story, but we'll see.
No, but this is
I
set, this is set away from Caesar and everything else. This is like in the future when
yeah,
the
they're
world is
doing
falling apart.
another trilogy from my understanding.
Yep. And then, do you
But
remember Prey? Did you ever watch Prey, which was like the standalone origin story of the Predator?
no.
Okay, I did. I did. Had problems with it, but it was actually quite good. That is now getting a sequel, so there's going to be
Okay.
another Predator movie. So I'm keen. I like the Predator.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
know I've seen very little Predator movies.
Uh, okay.
It's never been again, it's just action fodder. I've never really cared about any of it.
You're a monster, eh?
No, Predator is. I mean, I think. Is it? I have no idea.
Yeah, he's a monster. Well, he's an alien. He's an advanced alien
There you
race that really like
go.
hunting
Aliens
things.
being monsters.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, let's move on to our biggest. Would you call this triple A? I would call this triple A. I feel like
Oh, definitely. The
it's
fucking cast alone. Jesus.
yeah, it's triple A movie. It is Argylle, which is still running in cinemas near you. It's probably towards the end of its run in cinemas. But this is the newest action thriller. A reclusive author who writes espionage novels about a secret agent and a global spy syndicate realizes the plot of the new book she's writing starts to mirror real life events in a real time. Bom bom bom.
Yep.
Yep, that was probably more exciting than the actual overall
Well, it made
plot
more
of the film.
sense than the actual plot. Yep.
Yeah, so you would have seen the ads. We've got Henry Cavill. we've got John Cena, we've got Brian Carson, we've got Drew Palipa. I can't
Dua
say it.
Lipa,
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston,
And
Bryce Dallas Howard, who I'm in love with, just fucking amazing.
okay. Like
So many actors in this. And
bit,
if you had asked anyone who, like, looking at the posters and all the pre-release content, if you had asked anyone who's the main character, I think anyone's going to say Henry Cavill.
yeah, that's what I was expecting. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson's also into it.
Samuel L. Jackson's thrown in there for no fucking reason.
He's literally in there for like less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, just because he was in Kingsman.
Yeah.
And so was that other girl who in Kingsman has like sword legs. I don't remember her name,
I can't remember that. It's been a while since I've
but
seen
she's
that.
thrown into this as well, just because and they do a reveal. Anyway, we'll get to all that. But
And there's a
Samuel L.
cat.
Jackson has this like character reveal, even though we never even heard of his character. But because it's Samuel L. Jackson, they need to do a fucking soundbite reveal. There's a
Mm.
cat for no reason.
A very heavily CGI'd cat.
Oh, it looks so terrible. I have problems. I watched this and Anyone But You yesterday,
Okay.
and I was in the sourest mood after I finished watching them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So,
Anyway, please kick us
oh,
off.
so we are like our opening scene, we're thrown into the world of a spy espionage. Henry Cavill is wearing a velvet green suit. I don't know why he's wearing a velvet green suit. Like, that's just a weird choice. I don't know why a spy would wear a velvet suit. Like, it's
Yeah, I
like,
guess it's nice. When I first saw him and his fucking hair plugs and everything, thinking I take this guy seriously, but he kind of looks over the top because he's a fucking character in a book. So I was okay with his design, I suppose.
yeah,
But he looks fucking weird. You're right.
yeah. So, opening scene, we're presented into this spy espionage. Your standard a spy is infiltrating. You have your villain who's the attractive like kingpin, and then there's this dance sequence which pops up a number of times. Like I don't, there was like
I don't know.
we're gonna do one dance sequence and that's it. So
Yeah,
you only got
they
to learn it once.
reincorporated so much.
Like it's odd. And then
Hmm.
after you have your very stereotypical, like, oh no, the bad guy really knows who you are. You haven't infiltrated. We switch back into Ellie, and then we work out that Ellie is our main character.
Yep.
The first act of this film, I was so confused exactly what was happening.
No shit.
And
I was confused the
Ellie,
whole time, but
okay, Ellie's a writer. She's writing her book and she is writing about Argylle. Argylle is the spy. And as you go on, it unfolds that she's writing from memory because everything that's happening, she
oh, plot
somehow
twists.
it's not a plot twist because it doesn't even go anywhere really.
I mean, it's the
Like
entire second half of the movie
yeah, but
is the twist reveal result.
yeah, but this this was just stylized action. It wasn't even like I don't know if they were trying to do a parody. Like this would have been
Yeah, look,
better if it was
uh,
a parody.
definitely, and that's what I thought it was. When it starts and we're watching the whole opening, like cold opening with John Cena and Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill,
Oh, John
I'm
Cena.
like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, okay, look, it looks shit and it's really over the top, but it's parody. It's a bit of a meme. Like at this point, we've seen so many James Bond and other fucking espionage spy movies that we're now releasing movies that are a bit of a meme of it and a bit of a parody. Sure, but then they leave that behind, and then they take us themselves really seriously, and they do multiple twist reveals, and like none of it made sense, and all of it was predictable. The only
Oh,
reveal I didn't expect was that she was in fact, and again, this is if you want to watch it on your own, be my guest, but I think we're doing you a favor by revealing everything. The only reveal I didn't anticipate was that she was a spy and that all the stories she'd been writing was memories and not imagination. And I was like, oh, okay. And as soon as that was revealed, the rest of the movie was a fucking mess.
yeah.
There was like double crossing into triple crossing, and then she was like brainwashed at the end and she became a bad guy, but then she was also a good guy. And then there was another brainwash where she had like a code with some fucking musical box thing that made her a bad guy again, but then the
That
box got
was
smashed and she was a good guy
yeah,
again.
because that was planted. So when she had a coma or whatever, which wasn't fully explained, it was like, oh, we put all these items here so that you could remember, and these are subliminal messaging. But
It
conveniently,
was dumb.
yeah,
I thought like there was a moment because I tuned out. I was on my phone looking at Pokemon cards and shit by the end of this, and I something happened. I can't remember what moment it was, and I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't make sense. I guess I'll go back and rewind it. So I rewound like 10 minutes and rewatch the whole scene, and it still made no fucking sense. Like they expect you with this kind of movie to just turn your brain off and not think about plot
yeah,
because this was just nonsense the whole way through. It wasn't even
yeah.
fun nonsense.
There were moments. There
So
were
bored.
moments of fun. I thought the editing was actually quite good, where it was switching. So, like in the later half of the film, where it was switching between her like having a mental breakdown of like starting to remember, it was like her in an action scene, switching to Henry Cavill fight, switching back to like present time. I thought that was you might have been on your phone.
Oh no, I
No.
remember seeing it. I can't like they did that earlier. They did that with
Oh,
when
they did
Sam
it on the
Rockwell was
train, didn't
fighting on
they?
the
Yeah.
train.
Like I didn't mind that. I thought that was quite good editing. And then anytime the cat was on scene, I was like, this looks terrible. Like I don't know
God
that
awful.
they like spent all the money on actors and then they were like, uh-ohs, we why do we have
200 million.
it's like why does this cat look terrible? Also,
Yeah,
why is the cat in the backpack? That cat has got
because I
shaking
mean,
shaking around.
yeah,
I was like,
that
you
cat
poor
is
cat.
scrambled.
Like it's so I felt so bad for the cat. Like he just gets whipped around, he gets thrown off
That's
a
why it had to be a
building.
CG cat because a
Yeah.
real cat wouldn't fucking survive and it'd be animal cruelty claims.
Yeah, I know. It was like jingling around in there. Like, why do people carry a cat anyway in like a backpack? I find that so weird.
I don't fucking know
Like,
because
I
it was
guess,
her best friend and her lover,
but
so they
like
kept making the joke.
a cat carry case is like they're able to lay down and stuff. Backpack, like it has to have its head facing out and it's sitting there like that. Like that can't be comfortable for a cat to be sitting there like
No, it'd be
this and
laying
then
down the whole time.
it
But if it's
couldn't.
laying down, then we can't see its
Yeah,
dumb
but
little head poking
it's
out
vertical and it's gone every time. It's like,
and bashing against the hard walls of the
yeah,
case.
yeah, like it's like turbulence the whole time. It's like the worst plane
Unless
trip
the
ever.
inside is like a perfect mold of the cat shape. So when it gets in it, it's
It's
like
just
held in like styrofoam.
just hanging there, like poor cat. But this film,
There's so many moments of really lazy writing. Like the fact that this was made by the same guy that made Kingsman isn't like at first I was like, wow, how did he go from Kingsman to this? But then you look at Kingsman and that was based on a pre-existing like book or screenplay or something. He had nothing to do with it writing. Kingsman's written really well. This is written like shit. I hate the moment where for one example, there's a moment where they're trying to find something in a room, and he's like, "You like to dance?" And he starts dancing for no fucking reason, and because he's dancing, he taps the right spot on the floor. Like
yeah,
it's convenient, lazy writing. How can we get him to find this? Oh, make him dance. Why is he dancing? Because the character said he wants to.
yeah, yeah. There was one
It's
part
just
where I was like
lazy.
really dialed in, and I actually was like really enjoying it. Was the last dance scene where they get their she gets virtually her full memory back, and then there's all the colored smoke, and they're dancing like shooting. I enjoyed that part. I was like,
Could see anything.
oh, I just
Even
like,
Bryan Cranston's character's like, I can't see anything.
yeah,
Yeah, me either. Like they're trying to be
I,
like you said, trying to be stylistic and
yeah.
pretty, and they you can't see any of the fucking action happening.
I just laughed at the dancing. I was like, this is cheesy. That's like the level I wanted it to be at though. Like if you're going
Yeah.
to be silly and dial in, I want that to be like that level and
Yep.
enjoy the silliness because you hype this up as like a spy over the topness movie. Like even the trailer looks like it's stylish, it's over the top. I wasn't
Hmm.
expecting you to go, oh, we're going to dial back and go, this is going to be a serious story about her life and her consequences she has to do to get her memory back.
Yep.
And then so okay,
Fucking long. It could have
yeah,
been an hour shorter. Like I know it was only 2 hours 20, but this could have been an hour, hour and a half, easy, tidy. Like so bored and so just sick of just characters talking.
it
And
wasn't
then we
even
had the
good
reveal.
dialogue.
No,
It's
it
like
was really like
it was forced
it felt
dialogue
like a
too,
parody without even being a parody.
but not a good
Then they get the
parody.
reveal, and it's shown to us that she is in fact this spy. And then they talk about it for 10 minutes. Yeah, we know, we get it. We don't need all this extra backstory and plot. Like, just move the fuck on.
I mean,
I laughed so loud. Like, my partner, after I watched this, went and spoke to her about how bad it was. She's like, "Oh, I thought I heard you laughing." I'm like, "Yeah, I was laughing at it." The moment where they go, "It's not Argyle, it's Agent Argyle." I laughed so fucking hard. It is bad writing. Like that is so shit and cringy. It's a parody within itself.
yeah, but if you were dialing up to that level and you kept it at that level, that would have been like a great line, like a memorable
Definitely.
line.
If the bad guy was a fucking man with an eye patch and a fucking evil cat in his lap, like if this was Inspector Gadget level of ridiculous, it would have worked. It would have been fun. It would have been a parody. I would have
Yeah.
had a decently good time. It took itself so seriously. They thought they were making the next fucking James Bond. They really thought they were doing something great here, and it just comes across as bad,
Yeah.
really bad and boring.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just disappointing.
I know how fuck all
Oh,
to say too, because I think that covers it. Like
yeah. I mean, at
the acting's
moments,
decent. I think Bryce Dallas Howard does a decent job given what she's given,
yeah.
but still don't like her in this movie, which is upsetting because I love her in pretty much everything else she's been in. I've really enjoyed her. She's a great director. Then we
Yeah.
get this.
I'm surprised Henry
Why didn't
Cavill signed on either. Like it was odd. Like
I don't
it's not
know.
it's not his like go-to kind of film. He's like normally signed on for Warhammer and Witcher and
Mm,
things that he's like super passionate about. This just was like, I don't
it could
know.
have been anyone. Like it was literally his entire character persona was handsome. Like that's literally what he. As long as they have handsome white man, it could have been any other handsome white man.
Yeah. Yep. Bizarre.
John Cena, like I love John Cena in things because he's so hammy and so like over the top and funny. I love him as Peacemaker. Does nothing in this.
He wasn't even given much though. He was like the sidekick
No.
to the sidekick. Like he was
Yeah.
just there.
Uh-huh.
So bizarre.
I would have preferred it was him instead of Sam Rockwell as, the agent who's like
Oh
guiding it,
yeah.
guiding her through everything.
I hated that love story. I was like, that's the dumbest love story. There was
I
no
know.
connection between them either.
No, and
He was just there for convenience.
and he's like her senior. Didn't he say he helped train her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Please stop with this. Just
Uh,
over it. I'm
what would
just
you
over
get?
bad movies existing because 200 million, that's twice the an Expendables movie. That's everything now I compare to. I compare to Expendables. That
Yeah.
is two Expendables movies,
Yeah.
and
And
it looked garbage.
that's on actors though. I couldn't imagine
Definitely.
any of the top six actors are cheap.
No.
They're not coming in for cheap money.
Bloody Jason fucks.
What would you give it then?
Like a 1.5.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
you said, there are moments where I was like, I laughed at it.
Mm,
And there are moments where, like, the opening scene was funnish, but just all the little plot reveals and how boring and long it was. Samuel Jackson's always going to be a giggle. I love a lot of the actors in this, but Jesus, it's not good. One and
no.
a half for me.
Yeah. I'm a one. I'm a one.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay. Wow, I liked it more than you.
yeah. Yeah. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I didn't mind the editing. Thought the editing was kind of cool at moments. And the end like dance scene with the smoke stylish for no reason. Like I don't understand why there was different color smoke. It was literally just there for
Because Suicide Squad did it.
yeah.
At
So
this point, it's like, what can we incorporate?
yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's cool. It was long. It was long.
Very long.
Yeah.
It means 1.5 because I need to separate it from like I gave Night Swim and Bikini Bottom a fucking one. So this is slightly better than them, but
I don't
also
know.
not because it's way longer.
I would have watched Night Swim again over this. You're meant to say
It's a really good
Marco.
point. Yeah, that's made is a really good point. All right, get to one. Fuck you.
Marco.
You meant to say Polo. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not
See,
wrong. Maybe we should bump up Night Swim a little bit. At
it's only that scene that makes me giggle at it.
least it's
And
laughable.
we built our pool on a on a natural spring.
Yeah, all fucking little jump scares
Oh,
and
it's
yeah, you're
so
not wrong.
dumb.
That was more entertaining than this.
Yeah.
And credit
Ah,
for being short. Like if I'm watching a bad movie and it's only an hour and a half, well, that's I'm okay with that.
yeah.
But a bad movie that's 2.5 hours, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah. But
Fuck you, Argyle.
let's get into our second movie on the ranks, which is a re-release for Valentine's Day, and it is the biggest romantic comedy of the year. Not that there's been any other romantic comedies. Well, there's heaps now because obviously
Wouldn't
Valentine's
know.
Day. They pumped them out. But yeah, it is Anyone But You. Bop, bop, bop.
Ooh,
All right, the rom-com of the year. Did you watch this on Valentine's Day? You watched it last night, didn't you?
I literally watched this and then Argyle back to back.
Back to back. What a
Yeah,
big night for you.
sure was.
Yeah.
It was a long night.
Oh, but yeah, I've obviously seen it. We saw it in the movies just after its release. So, and then I
It's
have
like December. December.
um,
It was a while ago.
it was January. It was January.
Anyway, oh, okay. I thought
It
it
was
was last
still
year.
no, it's still school holidays. Oh, actually May. Yeah, 2023. Late. Must have been late release
Sure.
because I'm pretty confident we saw it in January. Might be wrong, but who knows?
I don't know.
Um, let's
Irrelevant.
yeah. So the biggest rom-com of the year after an amazing first date, Bella and Ben's fiery
B.
attraction. No.
It's not Bella. There's no L. BEA. Her name is B.
B and Ben's fiery attraction turns ice cold until they find themselves unexpectedly reunited at a destination wedding in Australia. So they do what any two mature adults would do, pretend to be a couple. Bom, bom,
Yep.
bom. So this
Because movie.
is, yeah. So this is a romantic comedy, as we know. And I find it's very self-aware. I gotta say, I have seen many, many, many rom-coms because my
You
wife
have.
really only watches two genres, and they are comedy, all right, and rom-coms. So
Yeah.
trying to get her to watch anything outside of those things is either she does and then she'll get bored and then be like stomping around doing other things or just falls asleep, does whatever. And it's quite annoying. Or she'll be like, what's going on? And like ask questions during the film. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen how much
Because
as
you're not
you
paying
have.
attention.
She's
Sure.
she's just one of those.
Asking you questions as
Yeah, it
well.
was like I've seen as much as you have. So we're watching it at the same time. But I've seen many. The perfect, perfect rom-com is Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yep.
Yep, like
I agree.
that's the
That's the
perfect.
standard.
That's well, no, that's the top tier. That's
Yeah, yeah,
perfect.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like that's what you compare everything to.
Well, yeah, but that's like that's one in a million. There's very, very few good romantic comedies. There's
Yes.
there's top level, which is Forgetting Sarah
Hmm.
Marshall, which stays on its own. There's nothing that even comes close to it. Then you have what I call is like the enjoyment level, where it's like I sat there, I enjoyed it, and I had like it wasn't just I'm sitting here because I wanted to, make my wife happy, spend some time together. And then you have the god awful, which is
The
like
garbage.
you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, let's get this over with."
When does this end?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like my top one, obviously Forgetting Sarah Marshall. My enjoyable ones are No Strings Attached, which is Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman. And
Okay.
then the other one that came out at the same time which is was it Friends with Benefits, which is Mia Kunis and Justin Timberlake. Like
Sure.
it's okay.
Seen neither of them, but
Okay.
yep.
Yep. I'm pretty confident you have seen No Strings Attached. Pretty
I don't
confident
know.
you have. Yeah.
Maybe. Like it sounds familiar when you talk about it, but I'd have no memory of
Okay.
it, if I'm
Okay.
honest. But
Yeah. Obviously, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That was actually reasonably enjoyable. You always, if you have studied film, you always look at When Harry Meets Sally.
yeah, it's always
Yep.
top tier.
Yep.
Which
Still,
this reminded me, like at moments, I actually wrote in my notes that at moments, like the end moment where they come together and they have that big conversation, like it just felt like they were trying to be when Harry met Sally with a big speech at the end. I like when he's crunchy nose and all that sort of shit.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So
Then you got Tom and Summer in 500 Days of Summer. Like that was enjoyable. It was
yeah, I didn't hate that.
it's lower in my enjoyment level, but I still it wasn't like god awful. And obviously 10 Things I Hate About You is like
Yes,
closer
that's what I
to
was going to mention too.
forgetting
Yeah.
Sarah Marshall, but it's not there. So like
For me, I'd say it's better than Forgetting Sarah Marshall, not because it's funnier, not because it's more romantic. I enjoy 10 Things I Hate You more just because of the nostalgia. Like
okay.
that was one of those movies I used to watch every couple of days when I was a teenager. Like
Oh,
I have so much
okay.
attachment to that movie
Okay.
and Heath Ledger in it. Like what the hell?
Yeah. But for me
Yep,
still, forgetting Sarah Marshall is top tier.
top tier.
10,
Yep,
10,
I
10
can give
things
you
I hate
that.
about you. Like that's the top shelf. And then those ones that I've listed are in that enjoyable realm.
Yep.
Yep. So like there is always a formula to
Uh-huh.
how to do
Of course.
the perfect rom-com. And
Yep.
it's always the three acts. You still have it. You have the meet or the meet cute, whatever you want to call it. Like they meet
Yep.
and all of a sudden they're an attraction. Then you go
Yep.
through, they get together, things are going well, and bum bum
Yep.
bum. We have a rough patch,
The black moment.
which is always at the end of Act Two. And then you
Yep.
have Act Three, which is like the big speech that
The reconnect.
is the reconnect, the rebuild,
Yeah.
get in there.
Yeah.
But the things that you always need is the zany side characters. So
Yep.
there's always going to be zany side characters.
Yep.
Yep. So
Before
what
we
we
continue really quick into the
Mhm.
movie, um, where do you put oh shit. A second ago I had a
Mm,
movie. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it.
okay, okay, okay.
Sorry, I had a movie a second ago. I'm like, where's this? Because that's a good rom-com, but I've already forgotten. Oh, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, okay. Would you call that a rom-com though?
I think so. It's
Hmm.
about him getting the girl and but it's more about him than it is about the romance. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really seen it as a rom-com. I saw it
Yeah,
mainly as a
true.
comedy. Like it was him just doing the things that he was like never done, like
But it
him
follows
getting
the structure. It's like them meeting, them hanging out. There's the black moment, there's the
I
reconnect. It still
guess
follows that structure.
I guess, yeah. Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah, it's probably more leans into the comedy than the rom, I
yeah.
guess.
I guess there's like Yes Man as well, Jim Carrey and
Yeah, Zoe Deschanel.
yeah. But I enjoyed
Yeah,
that. That was a good one.
I like Yes Man.
Yeah. So
Wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Ah, sorry, continue.
so we got B and Ben. They meet in
Uh-huh.
pretty stereotypical fashion, but
Yep.
I enjoyed that both of these characters weren't like fully put together. Like they weren't some high established like I'm a I work in some high record company and like whatever. Like for me,
True.
they felt reasonably like well characters. Like it was kind of they weren't like super charismatic. It wasn't like, ah, I'll sweep you off your feet. It was like, oh, I really need to use the restroom. Oh, that's right, honey. Did you order a tea? Like he was just helping her out to
Yeah,
potentially
I
get her
didn't
number.
didn't mind the meet cute, I gotta admit.
Yeah, like it was fun. And then she like just stumbles her way through everything. She's a little bit mean. She's a little bit like independent.
It's just your type.
It's 100%.
But again, it's the same thing I had about superheroes at a whinge a couple of weeks ago. You never get rom-coms with mildly attractive people. They're always like the upper echelon of attractive and handsome.
Yeah, that's because it has to be.
Why do they need to be hot? for me to root for them. You
I
know
don't
what I
know,
mean?
I don't know, but it worked, and it worked for the movie
For
posters.
you, muscle brain. I can't stand this shit.
Oh, you gotta
I
say,
saw a review on
did you?
Letterboxd that was like, I came here to watch hot people fuck, and I wasn't disappointed.
Yeah.
If that's, I guess, that's your intention behind your viewing, then sure. But no,
Look,
I need
did
more plot.
did you laugh? Did you laugh?
Uh, I don't know.
You so
The only
did.
moment that made me
You
laugh,
did.
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'll admit there was a
Like,
moment where I laughed where he first meets the ex-boyfriend for the first time,
oh, he's
and
such
he
a
like
fun
shakes a
character.
hand and he goes like some like he
He's
does like a tongue movement, and I was like, huh, at that. I think besides that, no.
serious. Oh, I laughed at him every time. Like when they're on the yacht, where I'll get into it, but like the first meet cute, the meet cute is actually quite
Yeah,
good. Normally, it's like
it's not bad.
all of a sudden they're just thrown in together. Like this could happen to anybody, and like seeing her all of a sudden go to the toilet and then like you have a. I felt like it was a Mr. Bean moment where she's like trying to
A
dry
very
off,
Mr. Bean.
and I laughed. I
Yeah,
laughed, and she like
it's so typical. Splashing water on your lap and having to dry under the hair dryer. Like, how many times have we seen that? Jesus Christ.
still funny, still funny.
No.
Oh,
Please
I
continue.
we work together, and I have seen you squirt someone on the pants and go, "Ha! You peed yourself," and you laugh
Yeah, it's
every
funny in
time.
real life,
No,
but
it
when it's
no
done for the
no
50,000th time in a
no
movie,
no no
you
no
don't
no.
get a giggle out of me anymore.
Whatever, mate. That's hypocritical. I've seen you do it.
No, it's completely
Yes.
different.
No, it's
Real
not.
life is so
No,
different to watching the
no,
same thing in a
no, it's
movie.
not. No, it's not. No.
Yes, it is.
You hypocrite. You hypocrite.
Hypocrite. All
I've
right,
seen you
mate.
do it. I've seen you do it. And then when
Of
someone
course, it's
tries
funny when it's your friend.
and try and dry it off, it's funny watching people do it too. It's funny.
No,
It's funny in the moment. Look, I can see you smiling. You enjoyed it. You
I'm smiling
enjoyed
at
it.
this
No, you
situation.
didn't.
All
You
right,
loved it.
please continue.
Yeah. So she's gone through a bit Mr. Bean moment. Both of them are not like they're quite awkward. And I like the awkwardness between them. They weren't just like, oh, I really like you. I really like you. I'm really smooth. It was like it was an awkward interaction. Like I enjoyed that it
I
wasn't
think he was
just
very awkward, was he? He felt pretty smooth.
only at the start when he was like ordering, but after that he was pretty awkward when he was like trying to tell her about grilled cheese and random stuff. Like he
Yeah, I
wasn't
guess a little bit.
like it wasn't your stereotypical I'm super smooth, I'm able to talk to whoever. Like it felt to me reasonably like genuine, like a real life kind of situation.
Yep.
Yep. So they do the meet cute, then they spend the night together, and as she's leaving, she like comes back, and there's a disgruntled moment where he panics because she thinks she's just left, tells her friend, whatever. Then they don't get together, and then they get
Which
thrown back in together. Which yes,
I don't understand why he said to his friend, she's a mess. I couldn't wait to get her out. Like, what was his reasoning behind that?
he felt betrayed that she just left like a one night kind of standy moment.
Did he? I don't know,
Yeah,
because he reacted to his friend saying, oh, you tell her about your mum? You don't tell anyone about your mum. And
yeah,
then he was straight into, oh, she's a mess.
yeah. Because
I don't know.
he went flight or flight and went like, nah, I need to,
Sure, went on the attack.
went on save face. Like
Okay.
that's what I'm
Yep.
saying. Like I felt these characters reasonably like real for me. Like
Yep.
yes, as it goes, there's moments where it gets into that unrealistic side because like when we get into Australia, I don't even want to think about how much that house is worth. Like they're in Sydney, they're on the beachfront, and it's a big house.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, geez, that's some
It's
prime real
insane.
estate there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was like, I can't
I was
even.
annoyed at how, like, I'm sure they do it in other movies as well. I'm just oblivious to it because I'm not from there. But when movies go to Australia and everything's like extra Australian, like no one talks like the way they talked. No one like yes, we use like when he's talking about his foreskin at one point, he used so many words that I've never even heard an Australian use. Like they're just extra. extra ochre, extra Australian. Like there's, it's like just insane.
the beef the beef cap.
Yeah, beef cap and all these other words that I've never heard of, but
Oh,
it was a whole thing.
he's
I
so
wasn't expecting to see full frontal, full skin in this movie, I'll be
oh,
honest.
it's pretty. He was such a fun character. I laughed at him every
Yeah, I didn't
time.
mind him. But again,
So
yeah, you're right. Like the side characters need to be extra.
yeah, so these two characters are thrown together due to moments of convenience. So like, yes,
Yep,
the build up is convenient, but that's all rom-coms. Like everything is reasonably convenient because you need to push that. Like it runs a pretty stereotypical formula of the rom-coms.
definitely.
But where I found this movie shining is like these two people were quite awkward. They're quite awkward. There's enough zany characters that it is feeling like they're pretty funny. Like I laughed. I laughed pretty consistently throughout it. It wasn't like big like haha like giggle moments. It was like yeah, that's funny kind of moments.
Sure, a chuckle here and there.
Yeah. Which is better than a lot of the films I've seen.
Yeah, look, I guess I don't have as many negatives to compare it to as you do.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
compared this to
I
the
can
rom
get
coms that I do like, and
I can give you a list of rom-coms to watch and
no,
then
thank you.
yeah, you'll have a different appreciation.
Not gonna waste my time.
Yeah. So once they're in Australia, this is where it felt self-aware, and I felt like they were poking fun at some of the standards of like we're going to force these two people into like getting together. So like there was moments where they were talking about, oh, B really likes Ben, and like very self-aware. I'm from a different generation. Just pull your pants down and say,
Yeah,
have at it.
Brian Brown was by far the best part. I think that's his
Oh,
name. Yeah,
yeah,
Brian Brown, the Australian guy who was in uh Boys Swallows Universe.
yeah.
Uh
Uh,
yeah, I guess there are some characters that were likable.
Yeah, so you've got your stereotypical, they're being forced together, they're going to pretend to be together, and then everyone's playing off against each other. I even liked when like Ben didn't really seem to, he seemed a bit clueless like throughout. He was like, oh, maybe she does really like me. And then
Yeah,
B,
he felt stupid.
yeah, yeah. And then B was like onto it. I laughed when they were trying to do the same thing to B's character, and she was like, "Oh, they got to you too." And then she was like, "Come look at this," and they're just laying face down.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was a smile moment for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
like there's fun throughout, even when like their attempt at affection. Now, did you or did you not laugh when they were up on the cliff looking out at the hiking trail
Oh
scenery
no,
with the
that's so
spider?
uncomfortable. And he strips off and he's screaming about this spider from his angle, and then it cuts to his friends looking at a koala, and it's silent.
Yeah.
Like he's like 5 meters away, screaming his head off, and it's silent on their end.
Yeah. Because they hadn't
Nah,
seen a
nah,
koala
I hate
before.
that scene. The way
Uh
they're fucking molesting each other. Like she's fingering his asshole without consent. It's no. I felt like there was
uh
moments where they were trying to like just shock value humor,
I
but it was a
laughed.
huge miss for me. No, that
I
scene was
laughed.
cringy and shit. Of
No, I laughed a lot. That was
course you
funny
did.
as. And when they start singing the song, like his comfort song, and they flash back and he's like they're singing the song during that scene as well.
Comedy gold.
Oh, it is comedy gold. Why are you
Oh
so
man.
mad, mate? Why are you so
I,
mad?
I don't find this genre fun. Like I can't watch this. Yes, there were moments of like mild comedy, but when it's surrounded by disgusting, like fabricated, really gross romance, it's most of it's cringe. And when there's moments of funny in air quotes, it's to me it's not funny. Like it seems like an obvious attempt at humor. It's like a
Oh,
person doing stand up which only just started, and their jokes are really like crass and about like masturbating and stuff because they know it's going to be an easy laugh. Like I don't find this entertaining.
okay, okay. I disagree. I thought this was one of the better ones. Like they actually felt a reasonable chemistry into it. It wasn't like super, super believable, but it was like I still felt like there was some connection there. And I've seen some ones where the two people don't even seem to like each other,
Okay,
where this was believable. So for me, it was
okay.
like it was believable. The characters felt they weren't like your stereotypical super smooth characters. They felt awkward at times, navigating their way through, and some very fun moments. So for the what hour and 40 minutes, I had a good time with it, and that's where I'm like, this is a reasonable rom com. Like it's above, it's in that mix of like enjoyable. It's not
Right.
it's not Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's not 10 Things I Hate About You, but it's in that mix where I'm like, if it came on, I'd watch it, and I watched it again, and I still laughed every time. Like,
Uh,
yeah,
I
it's
found it absolutely garbage. I hated every minute.
oh. But like,
I had problems with everything. The writing's bad. The end moment where they get where he jumps into a fucking he jumps off a cliff.
yeah,
A helicopter comes and gets him, and then which again they wouldn't use a helicopter. They just fucking send a boat out. Same in the especially in the harbor. The harbor is so accessible by boats. Uh, then he goes to her and he says to them, "Can you do me a favor?" And like the fucking Coast Guard or whatever it is going to just fly him to the harbor or to the opera house because he asked them to. Like, no, they're gonna be mad that you jumped in the water.
how's he gonna get his moment, mate? How's he gonna get his moment?
Exactly. It's convenient story writing. And then he gets there and they have this disgusting Harry Met Sally moment, but like so fabricated. I love the way I can't remember any of the lines he says, but I love the way we fight, and I love how smart you are, and like he starts listing off. It's so bullshit.
Ah, get around it, mate. Where's your heart, Mr. Grinch?
I
Where's
have a
your
heart.
heart?
I think I'm quite romantic, but not fabricated bullshit. Me and my partner have all these little traditions that are formed over a 12-year relationship, not this fabricated, like they're saying they love each other and stuff after spending like a week on holiday. You don't even know each other yet.
Ah, let him have that romance, mate. Let him
They
have
can
it.
have their romance. I just don't want
Let
to be
him have it.
witness to it.
Well, you have
And
been.
it's a montage in the credits. It's ridiculous.
Oh, all right. You need your heart to grow, Mr. Grinch.
I have quite a heart.
Ooh.
Actually, no, my heart's fine. My arteries aren't.
Jeez, let's take a turn there.
Yeah, look, this isn't. I knew for going into this, it wasn't me for me, and it was kind of worse than I was expecting. It was absolute garbage. It was one of the most painful things I've watched in a very long time. Sorry.
I'll give you some to watch, and you'll be like, "Oh, this was actually quite good."
I guess like you can make those comparisons, and you probably have things down there that are like at a one that are
Oh yeah.
absolutely terrible that you can be like, oh, this is better than that. But for me, I'm comparing this to things I like.
Okay.
Even she's out of my league, which is also really bad writing and really shit at times. I still found way funnier than this.
Is that the time that you watched it? Because that's been out for quite some time. Is that like a little bit of nostalgia? The old.
I watched that when I was like at uni. I don't think that was something I grew up with by any means.
I think your humor has changed though since then. I think
Potentially,
that's got nostalgia factor for you. You're coming into this as a 30-year-old man going, grumpy.
grumpy.
Mm.
Look, credit where it's due. Maybe you're right. I'm definitely more critical of movies and entertainment now than I was 10 years ago. Uh, don't know. I guess I need to watch more modern rom-coms to appreciate. Like even what's the movie we watched with Jennifer Lawrence? I know it wasn't a rom-com, it was more of a like a friend com.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings. Like that followed very like it followed the exact same beats. It was a meet cute, they get to know each other, there's a black moment, they reconnect.
Hmm.
I still found that way more entertaining than I found this.
I've rewatched both now because we watched that Wednesday. We put it on, I think,
Yep.
and I still enjoyed this more than that.
Wow.
Like I enjoy Jennifer Lawrence, and I found her humor in it. Once the shock factor's gone in the second watching, this is nowhere near as good.
Wow. Okay.
Mm.
Because I watched the first half again once when I was just doing something else. I chucked it on my second monitor and I still found it entertaining.
Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't entertaining. I feel like the scene where she comes out of the water nude and bashes people up, like that scene was fun, but it wasn't like,
But less like shocking. So
yeah.
less.
I
Okay.
I found her humor in that, and they went for the shock factor. Like they went for her to be like over the top shock factor humor. And
Right.
once you've seen it once, your shock factor is lessened, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
So
amusing.
what's the attraction with this then second viewing?
I think it's the zany characters, and I enjoyed the interactions.
Okay.
No,
Look, you're allowed to like it. I'm not shitting on you. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad that you and your partner can watch some movies together that you both enjoy. That's fantastic. Not
well,
for me.
well,
Can't stand this fabricated Hallmark romance stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Not for me.
yeah.
What are you rating it?
For me, I reckon it's a four. I enjoyed it.
Four. You're
Yeah,
kidding,
yeah. I sat through it twice,
bro.
and like didn't go on my phone. Didn't like I was trying to do some like uploading to YouTube and stuff at the same time, and I just found myself stopping what I was doing and just watching it.
Oh my God. You gave Masters of the Universe, the fucking He-Man show, which you loved,
Mm,
a four.
mm,
You gave Griselda a 3.5. You think this is better
mm.
than Griselda and just as good as, well, how much did you like
But I haven't
He-Man?
finished Griselda, so I was annoyed with Griselda, her not coming across as psychotic as her
Wow.
origin story.
Four, man. That is
Yeah.
insanity. I don't think we've had a discrepancy like this in a long time.
Ooh.
I contemplated half a star.
Ooh.
I gave it a
Ooh.
one in the end because
Okay.
there were some moments I like, at least smiled at.
Okay.
But it's oh, four.
Yeah. Even talking about it, I still had a good time. Like,
Wow, that's
like,
good. Look,
what,
again, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
like
That
when
is
they're on,
good news.
when they're on the yacht, he's like, "Fuck, he's fast." He just butterflies. Oh, that's what he has. See, I'm still having a great time with it.
That's fantastic. Like as
Yeah,
always, I'm glad that you can enjoy things.
yeah,
It's a good thing.
yeah,
Wow, a four.
yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna give it a three because it's recommendable, but
No,
a
actually,
four.
I quite enjoy it.
Wow.
Like, I'd watch it again.
Okay, I'm gonna throw out some more romantic movies at you just to see where you rate them.
Yep.
Love Actually.
See, I think it's overrated. It's enjoyable.
Oh,
Mm, it's good. I think it's like 3.5.
he's just not that into you.
It's just, gee, I don't remember that one.
It's almost like Love Actually, where there's multiple stories happening.
He's what? Not.
He's just not that into you. It's got uh fuck, what's it called? What's her name?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, sure.
It's got
You haven't seen
Justin.
Her.
It's got Justin Long in it.
It does have Justin Long.
Yeah, right.
You haven't seen Her, which is a really good. It's more of a. It's not really rom-com. It's just a romantic thriller, even.
Oh, have you seen Valentine's Day when Ryan Reynolds is telling his daughter about the different um romantic things he did in his life, and then it's she had to like guess which one was her mum. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. That was god
No,
awful.
I'm
It was
looking at it now. I have not seen this.
no, that's god awful. That was one of
Wow.
those ones you're sitting through going, oh my god. I hope something happens after this movie because this is bad.
Sure. No, I don't know that at all.
Yeah. Watch that and then you have a new appreciation on romantic comedies.
Okay. Fair enough then. Yeah, look, let's move on. I
Yeah.
think we've discussed enough here.
All right. Well, let's move on to Netflix's newest what is it? True Crime.
Yeah.
So this is made
Best thing I've seen this
by
week.
this made by? I feel like it's the same people. I don't know. Made by
As what?
Netflix, as the other one we watched. As the other one we watched, the other true crime one. Remember we watched
Oh,
it?
American Nightmare.
Yeah,
No, different people.
different people. I just assume Netflix have their same people make them,
No,
but
fair.
they are pumping out true crime stuff. I mean, true crime's
Yeah,
massive,
I love
so
it.
I don't see why
I
not.
might even get myself confused here because being on a bit of a binge recently, we also watched shit, what was it called again? Oh my God. The Sins of Our Mother,
Okay.
past few days as well. So I might get myself a little bit confused with the story here if I watched a few, but
Okay.
yeah.
I think it's worth not spoiling it and us talking about
Yes,
the overall so people can watch it because
definitely.
it's definitely a ride. So this is in this twisting documentary, a mechanic tries online dating for the first time and meets a woman who takes romantic obsession to a deadly extreme. So this is kicking it off. It is coming from the perspective of our mechanic, who
Hmm.
I can't remember his name.
Ryan,
Is it Ryan? Be
Ryan
Ryan.
Avis. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Oh
told
no, it's
through.
investigator.
Uh,
Dave, Chris. What the fuck? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know, but it's told through the perspective of our mechanic because obviously majority of anyway, and our investigating crew. So he tries online dating. He gets into a couple of relationships. One of the relationships doesn't work out. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, he starts to receive lots and lots of emails, text messages, which turn into very, very concerning things of like
Can I
always being.
reset and give you a bit more detail than that?
Certainly can because I butchered it.
Sure.
You know,
I'm say you butchered it, but I think it's important to point out some names. He has a wife and a child. They divorce. He online dates. They move to a different location. He meets this woman called Liz. They got a few dates. It doesn't work out. It was never meant to be serious. Then he meets a woman called Carrie. Him and Carrie get a little more serious. Out of one day out of the blue, she sends him a message while he's at work saying we should move in together. And he says, "Look, I don't think we're quite there yet. It's been like 2 weeks. I thought we talked about this," he says. And then she disappears. She leaves his house. She stops messaging him. We don't hear from him we don't hear from her for a little while. Then he starts getting a message from Carrie that's like, "Fuck you, I hate you, I'm gonna ruin your life." And all of a sudden, as the title suggests, Lover Stalker Killer, she becomes this stalker where she's just sending messages all day, every day, emails. She's just berating him, bullying him, like messaging him like, "I know where you are. I'm gonna ruin your life." Always, always, always. This at this moment, he starts seeing Liz again, and Liz starts getting messages as well from Carrie. And all of a sudden, Liz is in a fearful place as well. So they sort of rekindle their relationship on this mutual fear of this woman. Then Carrie disappears. Mum hasn't heard from her. She gets random messages saying, I've moved away. I want to be left alone." And all of a sudden, Liz's house burns down. Her pets die in the house. She gets out in time with her kids. And she's like, "I can't deal with this. I have to move away." She goes and lives with like an ex-boyfriend in a different county or something. We stop hearing from Carrie at that point, I think.
yep.
But again, at this point, this is where the story deviates. So if you haven't already seen it, I think it's way more enjoyable on initial viewing without us ruining it. But three, two, one, spoilers. At this point, my partner and I sort of predicted the end. We Because we hadn't heard from Carrie, we were both just like, "I'm pretty sure Liz is behind all of this, and Carrie is dead. Liz is the stalker. Liz has killed Carrie to remove the competition." But the fact that Liz's house burnt down and she moved in with an ex-boyfriend and not in with our main character, I'm like, well, that was her opportunity. That was her opportunity to live with him and say, "Oh, my house is burnt down now. I want to come live with you." But she didn't, which was really strange.
Oh, I think
But
when
yeah,
you're at that point of derangedness, I don't think it's
a lot of
not
logic going on in the head.
it's not. I think you panicked that you've killed someone and
Mm-hmm.
you burnt your
Mm-hmm.
house down and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
That's a lot of things to be thinking about and a lot of
Sparked. So
mate.
then an investigator starts looking into everything. They follow an IP address. Also, Liz worked in IT, so we connect those dots as well, being like, well, she knows how to do proxies and VPNs and stuff because she works in IT. So yeah, more or less chased down this IP address, found out it belonged to Liz's ex-boyfriend, who she's now living with. They figure out there's been Liz all along, and they arrest her, and she's just straight up being like, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't. It's Carrie. She's crazy," and just like putting everything on Carrie again, even though they got proof that it wasn't her and that she's gone missing.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, long story short, Liz is convicted of murder without a body because Carrie's body's never discovered. Um, Liz is convicted of murder and stalking and whatever else. Uh, it's just a fucking crazy ride.
This went on
I had
for like a year, over a year, didn't it? Like it
couple,
was.
yeah, like 2 or 3 years. It was fucking wild.
Yeah, imagine living like that. That'd be insane. Like the constant like terror and
Yeah. I couldn't
paranoia.
believe he went back online. Like he had all this bad stuff happen, and then he didn't hear from Carrie for a little while because he moved, changed phone numbers, everything. He went to his new where he was living. He went back online, and then quote unquote Carrie found him again, even though it wasn't Carrie, it was Liz. Like why would you? There's no way in hell I would go back to online dating after all that and get
I
found again. He ran away.
guess loneliness drives people to do things though.
Well, go meet someone in a more conventional way. Like I can't talk, obviously. I met my partner online, but if I had a previous situation with being stalked, I probably wouldn't go back on in fear of being stalked again.
Yeah, don't know. I don't
It's a wild ride. And there's not much to talk about because it's true crime. One thing I do want to mention is it looks fucking beautiful. Like some of the shots with the lighting and like color saturation and stuff. I think there's a documentaries can just be very stock standard in the way they're presented. This is gorgeous. Like credit where that's due for sure.
Yeah, the reenactments are kind of cool, and they make it
Hmm.
more. I feel like it's almost more creepier with their like reenactments than sometimes what it is. But it was really
Definitely.
good. I was like, "Where's this going?" Like I was hooked in.
Yeah. Yeah. I was super engaged the whole way through. We planned initially on watching it in segments. And
Okay.
then as soon as it's like we're halfway through, we were just like, no, we want to finish this. It
Yep.
was great.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Well
don't.
made, well paced, well
Yeah.
shot.
They don't waste time getting into the story either. It's not like
No.
he's a mechanic. He does this, this, and this. It's like I went on
Yeah.
online dating and we're in. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
There's enough.
Yeah, big hook. I liked it.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, it's a
We watch a lot of this stuff, and
okay.
a lot of them sort of feel the same towards the end. But I think this stands out, especially in its like pacing and production value.
Cool, cool.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
for
like a
me,
four.
yeah, it's a four for me. I enjoyed it as
Oh,
well.
heck yeah!
Ooh, yeah, that's two fours. It's eight from
Look at
me.
that.
Ooh.
So you consider this as good as anyone but you?
Yeah, like I was hooked.
That's
Like I had to stop what I was doing.
yeah,
Yeah,
fair. All right.
that's what I figured. Like three, I recommend, but I'm enjoying it, but
Yeah,
still able to do stuff. Four is like I got to stop what I'm doing
actually
to
like
watch it.
fully engaged with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully next week keeps up a run of the run. I don't know where I was going with
Yep.
that. I was going to say run of the
Me
mill,
either.
but that doesn't work either. But we've got the new Avatar, which is coming out on Thursday on Netflix. You're a big Avatar fan. I've seen the
Hell
show,
yeah.
bits and well, I've seen it all, I believe. I don't know.
Really
I
excited.
think so. Also tried M. Night Shyamalan's version. Terrible. And
Absolutely
then
horrible.
we've got Sony's newest outing in the Spider-Man realm, which is Madam Web, which I don't think features Spider-Man. I guess we'll see. Um, yeah, Sony.
Heard nothing good so far, but we'll
Mm.
see.
And then we've
I have my
got
own
Iron
opinions.
Claw, which is the guy from Bear and also Zac Efron's newest outing,
Hell
which
yeah.
he looks completely different than what he.
He's really impressing me
Mm, mm.
since he's become no longer a child actor. Most things I've seen him in, he's been
It's
very
been,
good.
yeah, yeah. Which is, I'm glad that he's doing heaps of different roles because, you get typecast, especially Disney stuff, High School
Definitely. Oh
Musical
yeah.
stuff, like hard to
Yep,
break
yep.
out of. I think
For sure.
he's the only one out of that crew that have actually done
I
more than
reckon.
the standard. Like I think Vanessa Hutchinson tried to do a music career. I don't know that that went well. Um,
No idea.
yeah, so
And Jeremy Allen White, like you mentioned, the guy from Bear, he's so impressive. He will have an Oscar one day. He's great.
yeah, so you know, if you listen on Spotify, give us that 5-star rating. If you listen on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You want us to watch anything? You got an idea for the 100th episode because that's coming up very, very soon. We're on episode 77. You got an idea? Let us know. Join the Discord, and you know what to do.
Please.
Tell your friends, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Love yous.